Hi, welcome back to The Way Shower. My name is Carol. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what we might be seeing coming up through the next several months through May of 2022. So I wasn't going to do this video, but I did meet with some friends earlier today and we discussed it, and they're picking up on similar stuff. So let me first say that um, what I am about to share with you is not just through psychic awareness or intuition or messages or anything like that. What I am about to share with you is my interpretation of the events that I see unfolding. So the writing is on the wall. It's there for everybody to see if you will have eyes to see. So, and ears to hear. So it is probably the closest way of describing my information would be intuitive awareness. And all of you have the same abilities to intuitively deduce what you see going on around you. So if you agree or disagree, please comment below and let us all know. Are you getting the same um, intuitive awareness about the events that are unfolding and what it may look like in the next several months? So what I see happening, what I think is going to happen, and this is by no means meant to throw anybody into fear, what I see as a very strong possibility is, in a nutshell, inflation, lack of produce and materials, and along with loss of income, and probably, quite likely, sometime early next year, we will begin to see homes being repossessed by the banks and the government. So let's see, the writing on the wall. So our government, the United States of America's government, has put out a lot of money to help the people through the pandemic. This is a good thing, but it will have its repercussions in that the money has to come from someplace. And the United States is currently in deep debt. So that is one of the reasons why I see inflation coming in. So we're going to see gas prices rise. We've already seen gas prices rise. They're going to rise even more. We are going to see a rise in the cost of groceries, of produce, and everyday household products. That's going to happen for a couple of different reasons, but it is going to be strongly connected to the rising gas prices. Another thing that is going to be connected to is lack of resources. So, writing on the wall again, in other words, there for everybody to see, if you will have eyes to see it, is that you cannot have severe drought all around the globe and then have severe flooding all around the globe and expect that crops are going to be fine. They're not. They are going to suffer. They are either going to suffer from the drought or they're going to suffer from too much moisture, too much rain, or both. So that is going to affect produce. That's going to affect the crops. When there is not enough food to go around, the prices will increase. On top of that, we have extra mouths to feed in the United States. So, and in other countries as well. So, with the influx of people from other countries coming into the Americas, we are the lack of produce, foods, the lack of goods is going to be felt even stronger. And I expect that to really start to show its face probably around May of next year, somewhere during the springtime. I think that we will see slow increases, and then I think that early next year in the springtime, we will start to see more significant um, rises in the cost of living. As for people losing their homes and the banks taking them back over, that is also writing on the wall, because you cannot, the the people who have the rental properties, and I am not one of them, but the people who have the rental properties cannot continue to make those mortgage payments without their tenants paying the rent. So what will eventually happen is that a lot of them will start to lose their homes to the banks. I think that the government, the United States government, is going to offer some kind of bailout, which will allow them in the end to take possession of those homes, which may not occur immediately. A lot of people may opt for the government bailout with the homes, but in the end, it will give those homes back to the government. Good thing or not, not really sure about it. Definitely not a good thing for the homeowners. But so, where is this all coming from, and how do we deal with it, and how is it going to affect us? It is all coming from that side of the light and dark spectrum that is trying to keep the people all around the world, not just in the United States of America. I reference the Americas because that's where I live and that's what I am most familiar with. So, but this is happening globally. And what the other side, the side that does not want humanity to grow spiritually, what they are trying to do is they are trying to keep humanity in fear and in lack. Because if we are kept in fear and lack, we have no time or room inside of our psyches to delve into deeper, more mystical, metaphysical, spiritual subjects. Because we will be overly concerned, most people will be overly concerned with putting a meal on the table and paying their bills, keeping a roof over their families' heads. So the way that they're doing that is they're trying to eliminate the middle class completely. So you will have the elite, the very rich, and you will have the poor, and probably the very poor. But there will be no middle class. That's what they're striving for. Whether or not they're going to attain that level of control and power, I don't know. But I do know that that's what they're reaching for. I will also say that in previous messages, and I have made videos on this, I have also been given to understand that they're in this process that the dark side is trying to take us through. There's going to be a divide between the people, between humanity. There are going to be those who succumb to the darkness and the illusion, and they will live that life in fear and in allowing themselves to be controlled. And then there will be the other half, or maybe not quite half, but the other part of the population, which will not succumb to the darkness or the illusion. They will not live their lives in fear, etc. And it is actually going to become a physical divide. So whether that means that we have pockets within certain communities, counties, cities, countries, or if it means that one part of the globe is light and the other part is living in the illusion of the darkness, or one half of the East Coast versus the West Coast, or someplace in between, etc. The way that I've seen it and experienced it is almost like the sense of the Civil War before the Civil War. So that you had the North versus the South, and they were not all under one flag. They were not under one governing body. So that's kind of how I see it playing out eventually, and I don't think it's going to take that long to play out. But so the dark side is trying to eliminate the middle class, and not everybody who is participating in this, in the political aspect of it, is on the dark side. They are just lost and confused, and they're trying to guide. It's the blind trying to lead the blind. So it's really important that in order to deal with these upcoming events, that we find sanctity within ourselves. We have to learn how to trust our own intuition and our own connection to the divine, and to the fact that we are all one, that we are all created equally. We're all in this together, and that whatever happens is fine. So I have family members who are not on board with this, and that's fine. So they're more than likely going to get caught on the elusive side unless they wake up soon enough. And the lives that they lead through this transition it's going to be a life that I would not be comfortable in, but they're going to be comfortable in it. So we have to accept that we all get to make our own choices. Just the same as with whether or not somebody wants to become vaccinated or not. We all have to make our own choices, and we have to respect and accept everybody's choice. So if you have friends or family members who are electing or cannot see what is really happening, then you have to accept that and allow them their own path. They have other lessons to learn. Look at what is going on inside of yourself and in your own life and find peace there, because only by finding peace inside of yourself can you be of any kind of service to anybody else, including your family and friends. So, and there is hope for everybody, because this is not going to be over with in one night or 1 year, in the snap of a finger. So because this is not going to be over in an instant, many people will have the opportunity of waking up and discovering the truth for themselves and readjusting their decisions. It may be a little bit harder the deeper in that they go, but they still have that opportunity. So we have to allow them that, and without judgment. So do not, if you're listening only to the news media, you are allowing yourself to be polarized. All of the media, and I've been watching it, all of the media, all the countries, all the different stations, Democratic, Republican, etc. And one thing I can tell you, the common thread between all of them is that they are all sowing the seeds of divisiveness. It is about, Republicans are talking about the Democrats, and the Democrats are talking about the Republicans. America is talking about China. China's against America, Russia, etc., etc., etc. Don't fall for that. It's part of the scheme to keep us all divided at a time when we are supposed to be coming together and sharing and creating a new kind of reality where we are all not only tolerant of each other, but helpful of each other, understanding and accepting. And that doesn't happen if you keep buying into the political rhetoric that is so rampant these days. So when you watch the news, please try to filter out the divisive jargon that everybody is using these days. But it sells, and they need to get their ratings up. So, but anyhow, so one of the ways that we're going to get through this is to be understanding and accepting of each other. Allow everybody to make their own decisions for themselves. Do not fall into fear, whatever you do, because if you fall into fear, you have given the dark side a foothold. So you have to trust that it's all going to work out no matter what. We have to understand that we are anchoring the light and higher vibrations into the earth, on planet Earth, for all of us to share in and to create a new reality. In that process, we have to stay grounded. We have to remember that we still have regular 3D lives to deal with. So it's finding a balance. It's a matter of finding a balance between opening up and listening to your higher and inner guidance, and yet still being able to go out there and shovel the horse poop or go to work and deal with everything that's going on at work. The other thing is you have to look at being prepared. Don't jump on some bandwagon and buy every single roll of toilet paper that there is on the shelves, or overstock your refrigerator so that some other family goes hungry because you decided to get greedy. Don't do that, but do look ahead, and with the understanding that this is a possibility. It's not just a spiritual, psychic sort of possibility. The writing is on the wall. With the drought and the wildfires and the floods, there is every possibility that there is going to be a shortage of food. Their strategy, I'm trying to figure out how to put this succinctly for you. So their strategy is to divide and conquer. So they get us to fight with each other, and then they throw fear in there, whether it's from a disease or if it's from lack of food or resources. And once they do that, once they get us to become divided and to argue with each other, half of their battle plan is already in action, because it is much easier to conquer somebody when they have nobody else to fall back on. So I think the most important thing is, besides not going into fear, is to not buy into all of the false rhetoric and allow yourself to be divided. So I personally choose not to spend much time at all interacting with people who don't even want to hear my viewpoints. It's a waste of energy. And it's not that I've given up on them, and it's not that I don't care about them. I still love them. I still want the best for them. I am just not invested in convincing them to see things my way. And I don't want to waste my energy on deflecting their efforts to pull me into their viewpoints. So be aware of who you spend time with, where you use your energy, where you're putting your focus, because we're manifesting very quickly these days. And keep an awareness out for what is going on around you as far as the economy goes, and the possibility of these things coming to fruition. So when you watch the news, listen for those little key phrases, gas prices going up, this mandate taking effect, etc., because it's all meant to control us. So stay sovereign unto yourselves and unto your religious and spiritual doctrines, and most of all, have faith that this is all going to be fine. It's meant to play out. It's going to play out. There is nothing that any of us can do to stop it. So buckle up, find a way to enjoy the ride, and find a way to be happy, to smile. Turn on a radio and dance a little bit or whatever. Anyhow, just wanted you to know that this is what I pick up on, and it's not just a psychic intuitive thing. It is it's the writing on the wall. It's there for everybody to see. So if you are also getting that impression and that intuition, maybe you've even picked up something psychically, please comment below and let the rest of us know. And the more of us that are on board with this and the more confirmation that we have to give to each other, the better it's going to feel for everybody. And we know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. So God bless you all. Love you all very much. Bye.